Well, jobless talk. Nationwide, the unemployment rate is at 8.2 for the month of March, down from February's 8.3%. But here in the islands, we're looking at 6.4%. So why does Hawaii always have a lower unemployment rate than the rest of the United States? And joining us this morning is Sumner LaCroix from the University of Hawaii Economic Research Organization, also called UHERO. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning.
So, okay, Hawaii's unemployment rate always seems to be lower than the rest of the mainland. How long has this been happening?
You know, this has been going on since the 1970s, and it goes on in good times and in bad times. You look at the two unemployment rates today, the 8.4% and the 8.3% and the 6.4%. That's a 1.9% difference. That's a big difference that we don't see with a lot of other indicators that compare Hawaii and the U.S.
So what's the reason for that?
Okay, here's not the reason. The reason why it's not that way is that Hawaii has a better job market. That would seem to be what the lower unemployment rate might indicate, that we have a better job market. But actually finding a job here is about as difficult as on the mainland. And in fact, in many ways, it's a little bit harder because of the limited professional opportunities. We have specialized industries. It's actually quite hard for a lot of people to get a job. So what is the reason? Well, the main reason is that Hawaii forces employers who have employees who work more than 40 hours a week to provide health insurance for those employees. And so many employers look at this situation and say, okay, if I hire someone for 40 hours a week, I have to pay them health benefits. If I hire two employees for 20 hours a week each, a little bit less than 20 hours, I don't have to pay them health benefits. That's a way of saving money. And so instead of getting one full-time employee with health benefits, we get two part-time employees who don't have health benefits. This leads to more jobs, and this reduces the unemployment rate.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But then what happens to all those full-time jobs?
Okay, so the bottom line here is that means that there are a few less full-time jobs, and that's one of the side effects of the Prepaid Health Care Act, of our law that mandates that employers provide health insurance for employees. Now, one way to verify this is to look at an alternative measure of the unemployment rate. It's called U6. And U6 not only measures people who are available for work and are looking for work and don't have work, but also looks at people who have part-time jobs and are looking for full-time jobs. Okay, we're looking at them as partly unemployed. If we start comparing those rates, the rate for the United States is 16.2%. The rate for Hawaii is 15.4%. They're much, much closer and closely related to each other. And this, to me, is a little bit of verification that our health care law does have some unintended negative side effects.
Okay, all right. But it is good for Hawaii because 90% of employees
yes,
have coverage, right?
If we look at this, the Prepaid Health Care Act has allowed over 90% of employees to have health care coverage. And really, I think any good society needs to make sure that people who are ill end up getting health coverage, that they don't end up losing all of their assets and end up in a really terrible situation. Even better, however, would be if Hawaii and the rest of the country moved to a situation where the provision of health insurance was not coupled to the labor market. I think that's one of those health care reforms that they tried to enact in Washington, D.C. They couldn't get done. It's really something that hopefully over the next decade is going to get done. I think that would provide tremendous benefits both for Hawaii and for the United States.
All right. Great lesson today on economics. Thanks so much, Sumner, for coming in this morning. And find out what else the economists at UHERO are tracking by heading to their Facebook page. And you can also find a link to their website on the As Seen On section of KITV.com. Sumner, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.